Hi strangers and friends. It's been a long time since I've made a video, and there have been a lot of reasons for that. But now it feels like it's time to say something. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't 100% know what it's gonna be. But what I do know is that whatever I say is meant for good. And it's real. The last 12, 13, 14 months, I don't know, I've lost all conception of time. But say the last year and a bit, it's been life-changing for all of us in so many ways, and so many of us feel so alone and so worn out by the never-ending sensation, you know, that this is the way it's going to be forever. And it's not. It's not. But that doesn't help us right now. As any of you who've seen any of my previous videos will know, that I've always struggled mentally forever, like default setting, you know, screwed up. And I've thought for years and years and years, and I've felt it building up, that at some point something in the world was going to happen that would change everything. I thought, I used to think maybe would it be some kind of political revolution, or, you know, some kind of climate change activism or something. But I knew, you know, when you've just got a feeling, and it's been there for so long that you're waiting for it to happen. It's not just like, is it gonna happen? You're waiting for it to happen. And for such a long time, I'd say probably at least 10 years, that something really, really big was coming. And all you filthy-minded people out there, I heard what you just thought, because I thought it too. But no, it's just a sensation. It's a strange sensation that I just And I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there who've probably had the same strange sensation that something huge, and not just life-changing but world-changing event of some sort was going to happen that would change things. And then it did. COVID happened. And we hate COVID. It sucks. You know, it put my father into intensive care twice. At the same time as having cancer. He's fine now. But the feeling that this huge event was gonna happen, whatever it may be, and then it did, in a really bizarre way. It's kind of given me a sort of weird hope. And that hope, and as mad as this might sound, I'm not a fan of hope, because I think probably 9 times out of 10 it lets you down. It can be cruel. But I hope so much, so deeply, that the world and that the people of the world must find our way through this together. I'm not necessarily talking about wars and religion and various contentious topics, because those things are always going to be there. It's the human condition. It's the way that, you know, that humans are programmed. You know, what I believe is fact and what you believe is incorrect. That seems to be, from what I guess, just from, I'm not claiming to be an expert, but just from what I've seen and heard through the news, through people that I've encountered that have been through unspeakable events, I guess, again. But now is the time that we have got to come together. We've got to band together. We have got to support each other. And somehow, I don't know how, but somehow, we've got to find a way to support ourselves, because COVID, to me, it isn't just a physical disease. It's become an emotional, psychological black hole, this vacuum that it feels like it sucks the life out of you. And you feel so trapped and so alone. Every day feels like it's the same. It's like Groundhog Day. Except you're not allowed outside. We're living in very, very, very strange times, but at the same time, I think we're living in very, very important times. Historical times. As all I ever say is it's basically the modern plague, you know. And the plague, the Black Plague, wiped out, like, was it a third of Europe or something? I think COVID's probably past that particular threshold. But something good has got to come out of this. And the best thing that could possibly be is peace and care. Caring about others and others caring about you. We need to come together and see the world as it really is, and not through the filter of religion, politics, and none of that. We need to see it in its raw state and realize that we're part of that. And we're part of we are part of an ecosystem, and for an ecosystem to survive, it has to be supported in some way. And the only way that I can think of is to support each other. And believe me, I know how naff that sounds. I do. But at the same time, this is huge. We all know it's huge. None of us expected it to go to be as huge as it is, you know, as it could possibly be. But also, I don't think any of us realized the extent of it and how long this was going to go on for, and how long we were going to have to find a new way of living and find a way of coming together, even through being apart. And again, I know that sounds so naff, but I'm just one person with an opinion. Well, one person with a lot of opinions, to be fair. But I can't think of anything bigger that could have ever come along that would have had the effect on a global scale that it has. I can't think of anything else that would have happened. I mean, we all you know, had this impression of, you know, is World War III on its way? And in a way, it kind of is, except we are fighting something that we can't see or completely control. We can control it to a degree if we all behave ourselves and respect others, unlike a very certain recently turned 30 pop star who seems to believe that she is above the law and is invincible and doesn't give a damn about anybody else's lives. I'm sure you probably know who that person is. I don't care if this person sees it, they probably won't. If anybody sees it, that would be nice. But we need to not be that person. Not set that example that we're better. Because we're not. We are at the mercy of something so ethereal and so something that feels so distant, but at the same time so claustrophobic. It's a whole sort of knitted ball full of emotion and interpretation and opinion and actions. But there are people, so many people out there who've got nobody. My nana, you know, she's stuck in a care home with dementia, and nobody can see her. And I feel like that's causing her to slowly drift away. I'm not going to go into my own personal experience, I guess, but it's just an example of the hundreds of thousands of people just in the UK who can't cope with this anymore. And I do feel a lot of the time like I am one of those people. But then I try and think, what can we get out of this? What can we make? What can we make out of this that is gonna last, that is gonna have such an impact on the world? And that's what we need to do. And however we do it, whether it's through posting a video on YouTube like this and just rambling like I am, or, you know, doing some silly, you know, dance moves or whatever, you know. It's those little things. It's those little things that keep us going. Especially at the moment. We need a degree of madness to survive through something like this. A kind of a positive madness. A madness that people want to be a part of. A madness that makes people smile. Even if it's just for a second. And that person might think, good God, I can't remember the last time I smiled. Because that's where we're at, you know. This is our plague. Our world war of this era, and we need to find our way through it. Not completely blindly, though. We need to lead each other. And I don't completely know how to do that. I'm no expert. It's just my opinion. But we're living in a time now that is so unique, that hasn't been experienced. I mean, if we think of the plague in centuries, I mean, that thought in itself is huge, and it's scary. It scares me. But that fear needs to be utilized and used as a catalyst almost into something better. And I guess the reason that I'm making this video is just to say that world, I hear you, and I feel you, and I feel for you. And I don't know really how else to put it. I want to help. I don't know how. I don't know where to start. It feels like, you know, they're having to clean up after a tornado of some sort. It's something that I don't know how to tackle on my own, because I feel like I need to save the world. And I know that's stupid. I know that's a stupid thing to say and to think. But I need you. And you need each other. And we all need each other. And we have got to find some strange ways. Because we're also living in very abstract times as well. You know, we're living in the digital age, and you wouldn't tell by the camera quality on this thing. But we can communicate. We can support each other. We can listen. We can care. We can give a damn. If we make the effort. And we need to make the effort. Because otherwise we're just going to sink. And like I say, if anyone has seen any of my older videos, my old blog that I used to do, I am a very damaged person. Profoundly sad. And I can't remember a time when I ever wasn't. But this, it's almost like a game changer. It's like something needs to be done. Somebody needs to do something, to say something that isn't just words that have been written by a spin doctor for a PM to regurgitate to the nation. That doesn't matter. They don't know. I'm not going to go into it, but none of us knows any better than the next person how to deal with this, how to tackle it, where the light is at the end of the tunnel, and if there is a light, is it a speeding train or is it actually a light? We don't know. And it's changing all the time, and it's scary as fucking hell. But without each other, we've got no chance. So I guess I just want to say, just be kind. Be kind. Be good. Think about not just how other people's actions affect you, but how your actions, certain pop star in brackets, how your actions affect other people's lives. In a way that's never been seen, I don't think. Not like this. But I do believe that we can do it. If we just be apart together and be together apart. I know a lot of people would slap me in the face for saying something as mind-numbingly as that, but I can't really think of another way to put it. All of our actions, not just negative, but positive too, they have a ripple effect, and they affect everyone, not just the people around you, not even just the people in the same country. It's around the world. It is global. You know, it's not like the butterfly effect sort of thing, but it's that kind of intense need to find a way of being human and staying human and behaving like a human being. Rita Ora. And considering the lives of not just the people around you, but everybody's lives, everybody's freedom, everybody's hearts. It feels like we are trying to run against the tide, you know. But this is not something that we can control in a way of, you know, we can't negotiate with a virus, you know. We can't do anything, really. All we can do is what we're supposed to do and respect one another and show that respect. Don't just say it. It's actions. And those actions can, just the actions of one person, Rita Ora, the actions of one person who can think that they are above it all. One party, one night out, one anything. And that could have devastating effects for who knows how many people. Like I say, it's the ripple effect. One person throws a party, that's the stone, and then that ripple, and then the next one, and the next one, and it just keeps growing and growing, and then we keep on going backwards, and we're stuck in this loop. And we need to get out of it. And as hideous and frustrating and awful and claustrophobic as it feels, we've just got to try and think ahead. Think ahead. Think about the sacrifices, the reason for these sacrifices. It's not some mad conspiracy that, you know, I don't even know. I know there's a lot of people out there with theories and such, but as far as I'm concerned, we're battling an invisible enemy. But there's this little part of me that sort of feels like maybe it's just the thing that the world needed to get its arse in gear, get people coming together, apart, working together as a system, and finding a way to come out of the other end stronger, together, stronger and together. And I think those two words are all we need. We just need to find a way to get there. And we do that by going through this awful, awful time. But at the same time, maybe it's not quite as awful as it seems. You've just got to think ahead. You've got to think ahead, but stay in the present. I know that probably didn't sound as profound as it did in my head. But it's just one person's opinion. I wish you all the absolute very best, because we need each other more than ever. We need each other. The air freshener agrees. So, I guess on that note, gonna sign off. But I just wanted to say, we all feel so alone at the moment. But the fact that we all feel so alone is one of the things that's keeping us together in its own abstract, strange way. The way life is, the way life behaves. All we can do is control the way we behave and be there. I think that's about it. I wish you all well, and I'm sending love.